Welcome, grade 7 learners, and here's our lesson for today. Before we proceed to our next lesson, the previous lesson was making a stand in relation to one's responsibilities, part 2. And that is our week 6 lesson. For today, the most essential learning competency for the MELC 19, citing evidence to support a general statement. And for the MELC 20, react to what is asserted or expressed in a text. And here are our lesson objectives: to identify the evidence in supporting a general statement from a selection, to reflect on what is asserted or expressed in a text through evaluation. For the activity, direction, familiarize yourself with the terms that you will encounter in this lesson. Here are the terms: text, a book or other written or printed work. Evidence, information that explains or proves someone's claim. Assertion, opinion or claim of an author. Here are the guide questions. Number 1, what can you say about these terms? Number 2, where can you use these terms? Number 3, as a learner of CBNHS San Nicolas, why do you need to study these terms? I want you to reflect in these questions while we are discussing the lesson. Based from these questions, what do you think is our lesson for today? Our lesson for today is all about citing evidence and making reactions using calm and down strategies. That's our week 7 lesson. All text or reading passages have evidence. If you find it difficult answering questions and proving your answers as correct, use calm strategy as your guide. How to cite evidence? Let's start with letter C. Comprehend the text and the question. Familiarize yourself with the text and the questions. Next is letter A, which is answer based on your understanding. Using your understanding about the text, you will answer the questions by yourself. Then for letter L, look for evidence. In answering the questions, go back to the text and search for evidence to support your answers. You can underline or highlight as you read. And lastly, for the letter M, make explanations. Support your explanations using your own words or copying exactly what the author said. Let us read the paragraph below and observe the chart that follows. When sunlight shines through drops of water in the sky at a precise angle, rainbows form. It causes the different wavelengths or colors of visible light to separate. This multicolored arc shows color in order, or the Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet that are created as light exits numerous raindrops at different angles. For the question, how does a rainbow form? The answer: the rainbow is formed when the sunlight strikes water droplets in the sky at unique angles. The text evidence. It is stated in the text that when light exits several raindrops at various angles, different wavelengths or colors separate, which shows 7 colors or Roy G. Biv. The chart presents how you can apply calm strategy in citing evidence to support the general statement. The second column provides the answer to the question. It is a general statement which needs to be explained using evidence. The evidence for the answer can be found in the third column, which presents proofs on the formation of rainbows. In some cases, aside from citing evidence, you need to react to assertions expressed by the author in a text. You can use the down strategy to make appropriate reactions. Study the example of assertion. Rainbows are not just half circles, they are full circles. As the function of assertion, you will be convinced as a reader that you do not need to doubt or disagree with what you read or hear, but rather accept the idea as truth. But in reacting to assertion, you should still support it with a strong evidence. In making reactions, let's start with letter D. Do not conceal your feelings. Express your feelings using the knowledge you have gained from the text. Making reactions is about expressing your feelings. Next is letter O. Organize your thoughts. In expressing feelings, you need to write it logically. Elaborate your emotion one at a time and give deep explanation about it. It will help your readers picture out what you have felt after reading the text. Then for the letter W, write your reactions. In writing your reactions, always consider putting detailed information. These details can be found either on the text or on your own thought. Describe your emotions the way you express it because it gives life to your answer. And for the letter N, never leave it hanging. Good conclusion or ending statement should have good and lasting impressions. These are the things that we need to do using down strategy in making reactions. But before anything else, for the learning task 1, before reading the text, match each underlined word in column A to its corresponding definition in column B. Use the given sentences as your hints to find the correct meanings of the words. Write your answers on your paper. For the column A, number 1, theater critics denigrate her acting ability. Number 2, the haughty waiter smirked when I talked to him. Number 3, my friend plans to go to some outlandish place to look for buried treasures. Number 4, her patriotism was so heartfelt that she quit her job to serve the community. And number 5, gun control is likely to be a contentious subject in any group discussion. And for the column B, letter A, likely to cause disagreement. Letter B, love for one's country. Letter C, to say unfair comments. Letter D, very strange or unusual. And letter E, blatantly and disdainfully proud. Now, here is a short description of parable. The parable is a succinct, didactic story in prose or verse which illustrates one or more instructive lessons or principles. Read the parable of the rainbow colors, written by Juan Flavier, a former senator and secretary of the Department of Health in the Philippines. Then, accomplish the tasks that follow. The Parable of the Rainbow Colors by Juan Flavier. It all started as innocent statements by each one of the colors. No attempt was made by anyone to denigrate the others. There was even an element of restraint and humility. But as time went on, The color's declaration became stronger and haughty, with an overtone which tended to put down the other colors. Their claim became very explicit as to who was the best color. It reached the point when the colors were quarreling. Said the color red, I am the brightest, for red is the most striking. Why? Life-sustaining blood is colored red. I represent courage and bravery. Even love symbols such as heart and roses are colored red. The color yellow retorted, what can be brighter than my yellow exemplified by the sun? I am the color of gaiety and of warmth. Without me, only the eye-glaring ones remain. What outlandish claims? Interposed the color orange. Sunrise is orange, not yellow. I am more important because I represent health and strength. Look at the ripened fruits and vegetables. They are predominantly orange. Well, if you are talking about vegetables and leaves, you are referring to my color, declared the color green. I am the symbol of life. All that thrives in the fields and the forest is the greenery I provide. I am the most important color. The color blue could not help it anymore, so it shouted, what can be more expansive than the sky and the seas? Do you forget that the farthest skies and the deepest seas are blue? I represent patriotism. I stand for the depth of feelings and extensive spaces. The color indigo came out with a statement. You talk about wide areas. I hope you realize that the largest area in the world is silence. And I represent that dimension with my color. It means thoughtfulness. It is prayer expressed in the deepest of feelings. Aha! You forget the pomp of royalty and power is violet, shouted the color. I am the wisdom and authority. What can be more overwhelming? Suddenly, the rain interrupted the contentious exchange of arguments. You are probably all wrong and all right. Yes, you all have your unique features, but all of you have a special role. And more importantly, you need each other to give the mixed colors of beauty. From now on, you will not be seen separately. You will represent cooperation and hope. With that, the rain disappeared. Did you understand the story? I want you to answer all the learning tasks so I can check what you learned in the story. For the next task or learning task 2, for you to practice citing evidence and making reactions, copy and complete the chart below on your paper. Be sure to use details from the text or text evidence to support your answers. You can use the sentence starters provided in the third column to cite your evidence. Question number 1. What color is considered the brightest? Text evidence, based on what I read. Question number 2. Why green claims that it is a symbol of life? Text evidence. In the text, it said, question number 3. React on the statements by color green and color orange. Which one do you believe is more important? Why? Text evidence, the author said. Question number 4. What statement or statements in the text describe that rain emphasizes the need for cooperation? Text evidence, based on what I read. Question number 5. Why does a rainbow represent hope? Text evidence. Text evidence, according to the text, then answer the questions using text evidence in the second column. And for the last task or learning task 3, evaluate the characteristics of colors and decide what word best describes each of them. Draw the rainbow on your paper, and on the left side of the rainbow, write a one-word description for each color. Example, red is to brave on the right side of the rainbow. Explain how those qualities are related to you. Did you understand our lesson for today? I hope that you all understand our lesson for the week 7. That's all for today. See you again next week. This is Sir Jasper. Goodbye, everyone.